Hey everyone, I am halfway through a 2-box penny hunt, but I just got these 2 rolls in the mail, and I'm so excited that I'm just going to take a break where I am and search through these with you. These are wheat cent rolls with Indian head enders that I got from eBay so that I could fill out my personal folder a bit more. That way it does not take away from our Series 1 folders. In the box hunt, we did end up finding a 1936 and 1917 that would go in my personal folder. Actually, the 17 would not. So the goal today is to get at least one 1936 to protect this one from going into my personal folder instead of the Series 1 folder where it belongs. I do have my personal collection books here. The Indian head cents, I do need a lot of. I've only gotten a few coins there. So hopefully there's some good ones. I do know that there is a 1897, which I know we already have, and an 1891, which we do not have, so that'll definitely be going in the book. I need quite a few of these 40s and 50s coins, and then in the big book here, I have quite a few of the holes here of our earlier dates, so let's see what we can do. All right, we've got our 2 rolls here. We'll go ahead and start off just by getting these out. And we'll take a close look of any early dates or any other significantly looking coins. Let's see, I've got a Sharpie here to help me push them out. All right, right off the bat, it looks like we have a steel cent here. 1943. It is coming off with a little bit of a more dull appearance, so that'd be pretty awesome if this is a BU original luster coin instead of a replated. Oh, did I say Denver? It looks more like a San Francisco. Let's see, let's get a good view of this mint mark. Definitely a 1943 S. Can't really tell about the condition as far as if it was replated, but I'll take a closer look at it. And then the Indian head cent here, 1897. Again, we already have that date, but this might be an upgrade in our book, so that's still pretty exciting. I'm also going to look through this for any die varieties or errors. So we'll go ahead and do that as well. All right, let's go ahead and start looking through these. So I'm just going to set them aside here in stacks of decades. So we'll start 40s right here. There's a 37. Okay, a 20s. I'll just go ahead and speed this up and get them in decade order so that we can get an idea of what we have. Oh, a 1913 right there. Nice older one. With a mint mark too from Denver. All right, let's fast forward through this. Alright, so as you can see, most of the coins, or I guess the decade in which we got most, is the 40s. It does look like about half of them are pre-40s, which is what the advertisement said on eBay. They also included one steel cent, one Indian cent, and one nicer looking coin. A 55 San Francisco. So overall, it does look pretty good. I haven't seen the condition of every single coin yet, or I haven't really looked too much into the condition of each coin. You can see some of them, especially the early teens, are pretty worn down. So we'll go ahead and see which of these fill our book. But before that, we have another roll. And here's another steel cent here. This one is looking more like the replated version. That one is definitely a 1943 from Denver. So as you can see, the difference between these two. The one from San Francisco looks quite a bit more dull, which makes me think this is the original plating on it. Whereas this one definitely looks replated. Let's see if we can get a good zoom in on these. You see the darker gray looking on the San Francisco, whereas the Denver looks a lot more white. All right, and the Indian head, 1891. This year I don't have yet, so I'm happy to get it and get that into my book. It's pretty worn, but that is expected for a coin that is 134 years old. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that there's probably another one good condition coin. It looks like it might be this one here. Yep, there it is. 1953. So the 53 and likely this 55 San Francisco are going to be an upgrade in my book. Let's go ahead and fast forward through this, and we'll stack these up as well. All right, so that'll complete our 2 rolls. It looks like we got even more 30s than we did 50s. So that's pretty amazing. We're pretty close on the 20s, and even the teens has a pretty nice stack. So I'm super happy with just the coins that we got and the spread of decades of those coins. I'm going to go ahead and lay these out by each year so we can get a closer look at what we got. Alright, so I have all these coins laid out by decade and then each individual year. So our teens, we ended up getting a 10, no 11s or 12s, but 13, 14, no 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And then the 20s we got every year except for the 22. Then the 30s every year except 32 and 33. 40s we got every year except for 1940 and 1949. And then 50s every year except for 1952. So this is actually a wonderful spread from 2 eBay rolls. I believe this is probably the best you're going to be able to find out there. I feel like most eBay rolls, they're 80% 40s and 50s, and then you might have just a few sprinkled in of the pre-40s. All right, so now I've got my new updated big book, small book, and Indian head cent book. In the big book, we were able to fill 21 holes and upgrade 12, making our new total 97 coins in our big book. In our small book, we got to 36 with 9 fills and 10 upgrades. And in the Indian head cent book, we were just able to fill that 1891. The 1897 was a slightly lower condition than what I already had in the book. So let's go ahead and give a quick look here on what our folder looks like now. So as you can see early on, we still have quite a few holes. And later, we finally filled up the last page entirely. And now the one that we need in our book is this steel cent, and then a few trickling off into the 40s and into the 30s. And then for the small book, which I fill after the big book, in this one, I've completed back to 1956, and we still need a few in the early 50s and a few here in the 40s. In the Indian head cent book, we've only have 1890s coins. That one here that we've added, the 1891, makes 7 coins in our book for Indian head cents and flying eagles. So overall, I do believe that these 2 rolls were worth the purchase. I paid $16 per roll. I think it was just a few cents under $16. And here are our leftover coins. Looking at this total, we were able to fill 30 coins out of the 100 coins that we got. So 30% of them actually went into my book, and a few of them were also hard to find years that I just happen to have already found. So it's definitely a great mix of coins that we got in these 2 eBay rolls. If this is the type of content you like to watch, make sure you like the video, comment on it, tell me what you liked and didn't like. And if you think someone else might enjoy this type of content, make sure you share the video with them. But most of all, thank you for watching.